Hello everyone, my name is Cindy Spencer and today I'll be demonstrating on how to build a pivot chart in Excel. So the first step we're going to take is creating a pivot table. So go to the worksheet called WA Sales Product 2012-14. Put your cursor on the green triangle at the top of the right side of the data. Click on it to select all the data in the file. Then use your keyboard to press on Ctrl+C to copy the data. Then go up to the Insert ribbon. Click on Pivot Table. Then a pop-up window will show up presenting your range and where it will be placed. Now press OK. It is going to generate a pivot table into a new worksheet. Now to the right, you'll see all the data put into the filter so you can choose what you want to manipulate at one time. For this exercise, we're going to move retailer country into columns, product type into rows, revenue into values, and gross margin also into values. Once you do that, you'll see a bunch of data pop up. Now we are going to clean up this data a little bit. So we're going to go to the sum of revenues drop-down menu, go to value field settings. And for the revenues, we want to calculate the sum, which is already placed out. However, we want to change the number format a little bit. So click on number format, go to numbers. We want our revenues to place out 0 decimal places, but with commas. So go to the decimal places and change 2 to 0. Then click on the checkbox for commas. Then press OK. Press OK again. And you'll see that our data for sum of revenues has changed to commas with 0 decimal places in the data sheet. Now we're going to do the same thing with gross margin. Go to value field settings. For gross margins, instead of calculating the sum, we want to calculate the average. So click on average. And we also want to change the number format as well. So go to number format, press on number, and we want to change it to 2 decimal places, which is already presented here. So that is okay. So press on OK, press OK again, and you'll see that the gross margins have now switched to 2 decimal places in the data. Sometimes you want to make your data concise and compare only 2 or 3 countries. So how we're going to do is we're going to go to the column label drop-down filter. Then it will pop up all the different countries that you have selected. Well, I want to look at Australia and Japan's data only. So unselect all, then scroll down to press on Australia and Japan, and then click OK. And now you'll see that the data has changed to only showing Australia and Japan's gross margin and sum of revenue. Lastly, we want to make a combination line graph for our data. So we're going to go up to the Insert ribbon, go to the Combo Chart, click on Create Custom Combo Chart. Now, we want to make our gross margins, our average gross margin as the primary axis and our sum of revenues as the secondary axis. So the first thing says Australia sum of revenue. Click on the checkbox secondary axis. Then go down to Japan's sum of revenue and click on the secondary axis as well. Now we're not quite done. We want to change the type of chart type. So for the sum of revenue of Australia, we want the chart type to be area. So click on the drop-down menu and go down to area and press area. And then for Japan sum of revenues, we want it to be a line chart but with markers. So click on the drop down menu, go to lines, and click on the line with markers. Now, Australia's average of growth shows a cluster column, but we want it to be in a line. So go down to the drop down menu and change that to line. Now everything is okay, so we're going to press OK. And then our charts will show up, and we want to move this down so it can be more visible. So we're going to move it down. And then to make this a little bit bigger, we want to touch the ledger and just increase the size so it can be more visible. So now you can see our chart showing the sum of revenue and the average gross margin for both Australia and Japan using line with markers and an area chart. That is all for this Excel. I will see you next week where we'll be discussing macros.
Hello, my name is Sydney Spencer and I'm a hospitality management student.